In 2001, Harry Potter cast its first spell, uniting the world in magic. But 24 years later, the truth behind the cast's lives is far darker than the films ever showed. Some stars soared, some fell into addiction and despair, and others left us far too soon. From fame to heartbreak, from fortune to tragedy, their journeys reveal the hidden cost of childhood stardom. So what really happened after the magic faded? Stay with us, because the answers will shock you, move you, and forever change the way you see the world of Hogwarts. When Alan Rickman stepped into the role of Severus Snape in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, he was already 55 years old. His icy stare and unforgettable voice made him both terrifying and mesmerizing. Yet, behind that cold exterior was a man haunted by loss. Rickman's father died of cancer when he was just 8 years old, leaving his family in poverty and shaping his lifelong fear of illness. In 2015, doctors diagnosed him with pancreatic cancer. He kept the truth hidden, continuing to work while enduring unbearable pain. On January 14, 2016, Alan Rickman passed away in London at the age of 69. Fans wept, realizing that Snape's tragic death on screen had mirrored his own fate in real life. His net worth may have been $16 million, but his true treasure was the artistic legacy he left behind. At just 12 years old, Daniel Radcliffe became the face of Harry Potter, the boy who lived. To the world, he was a legend, but privately Daniel was fighting for survival. Born in London in 1989, he struggled with dyspraxia, a disorder that made even basic tasks like handwriting a challenge. Fame only magnified the pressure. By 18, while millions adored him, he was drowning in alcohol. Between the ages of 18 and 21, Daniel drank heavily, collapsing on sets and spiraling into shame. He later admitted he despised himself during those years, yet somehow, he found the strength to fight back. Today, at 36, Daniel is sober, worth around $110 million, and most importantly, finally free from the shadow of Harry Potter. For millions of fans, Robbie Coltrane will always be Hagrid, the gentle half-giant with a booming laugh and a heart of gold. But behind the magic was a man battling constant pain. His marriage collapsed in 2003, leaving him lonely, and he turned to alcohol, which only worsened his health. By 2016, chronic osteoarthritis left him confined to a wheelchair, suffering pain every single day. On October 14, 2022, Coltrane passed away in Scotland at 72 from multiple organ failure. Yet, his words at the Harry Potter 20th anniversary live on. "I won't be here, but Hagrid will." And he was right. When Emma Watson became Hermione Granger at just 11, she embodied intelligence and bravery. But her childhood wasn't as perfect as it seemed. Her parents divorced when she was 5, leaving her torn between two homes and afraid of losing love itself. Acting became her shield against loneliness. Today, at 35, Emma is not only worth $85 million, but is also a powerful advocate for women's rights through the United Nations. Her courage reminds us that even off-screen, she has always been Hermione at heart. Dame Maggie Smith gave the world Professor McGonagall, the strict but compassionate teacher of Hogwarts. Yet her real life carried immense pain. She endured divorce, widowhood, and in 2007, a devastating battle with breast cancer. Richard Griffiths, unforgettable as Uncle Vernon Dursley, knew hardship long before fame. Raised in poverty by deaf parents, with an abusive alcoholic father, his childhood was steeped in silence and violence. Radiation treatments at the age of 8 left him obese, a condition that followed him throughout his life. For Tom Felton, playing Draco Malfoy at 14 was both a blessing and a curse. Fame came instantly, but it trapped him in the shadow of Draco for years. He described those years as the darkest period of his life. Today, at 38, Tom Felton is alive, worth around $20 million, and preparing to return to the stage in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. His survival is proof that even villains can find redemption. Richard Harris, the original Albus Dumbledore, had a presence that defined the wizarding world. But in real life, Harris was consumed by addictions. At his worst, he drank 2 bottles of vodka a day. his rages destroying marriages and terrifying his children. In 1978, he nearly died from a drug overdose. On October 25, 2002, Harris died at 72 from Hodgkin's lymphoma, just 1 year after stepping into Dumbledore's robes. His sons gave him a final farewell by placing a pint of Guinness at his side, letting him depart with the taste he loved most. His life was chaotic, but his legacy remains immortal. Julie Walters, who played Molly Weasley, became the warm, protective mother of Hogwarts. But behind the gentle smile, she faced a brutal fight. In 2018, she was diagnosed with stage 3 bowel cancer. Rupert Grint was only 13 when he brought Ron Weasley to life. The loyal, clumsy best friend became a symbol of childhood for millions. But Rupert struggled deeply with fame, anxiety, depression, and the feeling of being trapped as Ron consumed him. In 2019, a tax battle cost him $2 million and pushed him further into despair. Today, Rupert is 37, with a net worth of $50 million, though he still acts occasionally. Hollywood is no longer a dream, but a scar. Fiona Shaw played Petunia Dursley, the cold and loveless aunt, but her own life carried its own tragedies. She lost her younger brother Peter in a car accident when he was just 18, a wound that haunted her for decades. She also struggled with her sexuality, hiding her truth in fear of rejection. Today, at 67, she lives peacefully in London with her wife, economist Sonali Duraniyagala, finally free from the loneliness of her past. James and Oliver Phelps, the twins who played Fred and George Weasley, were just 15 when they stepped into the magical world. Their mischievous smiles brought joy, but fame became a burden. For years, they struggled with the pressure of being seen only as the Weasley twins. Today, at 39, they run a podcast called Normal Not Normal, but admit they still carry the unease of being defined by characters they played as teenagers. For Jamie Waylett, who played Vincent Crabbe, the story turned into tragedy. As a child actor, he became part of millions of childhood memories. But after Hogwarts closed its doors, his life spiraled. Addiction, crime, and rebellion consumed him. In 2011, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison for his role in the London riots. Today, at 36, he has vanished from the screen, with only $500,000 to his name. His story is perhaps the darkest, a reminder of how quickly magic can disappear. The magic of Harry Potter will never fade, but the stories of its cast remind us that behind the curtain, real lives were at stake. Which journey moved you the most? Share your thoughts below. And if you love uncovering the untold truths of cinema, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Thanks for watching.